right at the bottom. Mullen had it knocked away by Anderson. Golden State will have 9 on the shot clock.
Golden State going to some isolation. They want to control the tempo of the game. Run when it's there. Otherwise, use some shot clock to keep the score down in this game. But with a mishmash line, this is the 34th different starting lineup for the Golden State Warriors this year. Hard to get any kind of continuity at all.
A mishmash lineup that Bob Lanier is going with. Game is tied at 2. Here's the double on Shaquille. Mullen cheating his way, trying to rejected, but it will count. Well, Gatling came over for the block, but that's a goal to.
And there will be a smorgasbord of mismatches, and here is one of them. Shaquille O'Neal going against Victor Alexander. A belated double-team effort by Chris Mullin, but way too late for Shaq to get into his move.
Oh, for Gatling! Gatling able to tip it home on the lead from Mullin. Chris Gatling comes into today's game leading the NBA in field goal percentage, better than 60% from the field. Anderson trying the 3. He was red hot from downtown on Friday night against the Chicago Bulls.
And this is why Gatling shoots such a high percentage. He doesn't take bad shots. However, he had to save. This pass would look like it was going to be too far for Mullin, but that's what Chris Mullin gives you. He's always looking for an open man. He's a good, sound, all-around basketball player who happens to have a couple of gold medals in his pocket as well.
And Chris Mullin taking it back from assorted injuries. It's only his 9th game back. He's averaging 20 a game over that stretch, shooting 52%. He had missed the first 29 games of the season with a knee problem. Finally returned, went out with a sprained ankle, and then suffered from dizziness and blackouts, which put him on the sideline. It turns out Chris has low blood pressure and increased in salt in his diet, so alleviate that problem.
Golden State just do not look very eager to go down and double-team Shaquille O'Neal. So far, Victor Alexander has made Shaq take a little jump hook type variety shot.
Alexander gets inside, rebounded by O'Neal. Hardaway with the look.
Well, on that fast break opportunity, Hardaway gave the ball up way too soon to Horace Grant, although he knew Horace was beating Gatling down the floor, but Horace doesn't fool around with the basketball. Knew he didn't have much to do with it. Kicked it right back to Penny.
Off the double team, ball knocked out of bounds by Sprewell.
Here's Penny Hardaway once again giving it up too early to Horace Grant in the middle of the floor. Grant did not try to do too much with it. That's why he is so effective with this basketball team. Horace just plays his game and doesn't try to do too many things he cannot do.
And here is Grant. Horace Grant hits on his first attempt, and it's Orlando 9 and Golden State 4. Gatling. Gatling going to the fadeaway. Back come the Magic. Orlando Magic with 3 straight wins over Phoenix, Charlotte, and Chicago. Donald Royal gets inside, it counts, and the foul.
Well, you see the Golden State Warriors doing quite a bit of sagging defensively, especially against a Donald Royal. They'd rather see him shoot jump shots. Donald Royal recognizes it, tries to close the gap by putting it on the floor, getting into the lane, and then getting people up in the air. Donald Royal would much rather drive to the basket than shoot jump shots. This is Donald's 4th game back as a starter after missing quite a few with that sprained ankle.
Yes, he was in a walking cast for a while. He was back in the starting lineup. Dennis Scott once again coming off the bench. Dennis recently struggling with the shot. Sprewell, that is not what he had in mind. He did not call glass, but he will take it. It's a 3-pointer for Latrell Sprewell.
I think he wanted to smile. He looked around a little bit, but things have been so grim for the Warriors. He'll take him any way he can get him. His 3-point shooting has been way off this year, down around 26%.
That was too easy for Shaquille O'Neal. Very little resistance. His second field goal. It's the Magic 13. The Warriors 7 off the trap. The steal by Orlando.
Brian Hill told us before the game they will go to some trapping to try to create some turnovers and some tempo.
Well, the Magic had hit 5 straight shots before that miss. It is called Golden State ball.
And the Golden State Warriors will turn it over. They are 2nd in the league in that dubious distinction, kicking the ball away. And if they do it a lot and give up second shots, which they're always very poor in, it'll be a dunkathon for Orlando.
Well, Sprewell able to penetrate. 13-9. Orlando. 5 points for Latrell Sprewell. Nice. O'Neal for one. A Magic 15. And the Warriors 9.
Well, that time the double team coming. Maybe it will be that they'll double team Shaq on the left side of the floor, playing head up on the right, but they came, but it wasn't a strong one. Didn't get the hands up. Shaq found the cutter.
Sprewell once again able to penetrate. Latrell with a one-on-one marathon here in the early moments, but he's hit 3 of 3. Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille kept it alive, and it's handled by Grant.
And this is what the Warriors do. They will give up a lot of second shots that time because especially Victor Alexander got pushed underneath the basket. You got to carve out space and keep people on your back.
Nice pass again from O'Neal. This time he found Grant. The Magic 17 and the Warriors 11. This is game 4 of a 5-game road trip within a stretch of 9 days for Golden State, and they are down by 6 with 6:14 remaining. In this opening quarter, you are watching the NBA on NBC.
Ron Howard's Backdraft, 8/7 Central, NBC tonight.
We think the new Chevy S-Series ZR2 extended cab is kind of like a good friend. Okay, so it's more like a push to the front of the line, stay out of my way, give me all your lunch money because I'm bigger than you and I always will be, and don't you forget it kind of friend. The new ZR2 extended cab. So, who are we having for lunch?
Squids, we got snaked big time in Barneyland.
They dream Green Road.
We sent shore slop.
Holmes, let's get aggro on IBM stick before we get churned. We'll bust the lip, get locked in the barrel, and we won't need a swami to keep us from going over the falls.
Are we talking triple concave?
Nectar. All the way.
Pure guava.
These lineups have been totally glassy since they chilled on the SEAL suits.
Michael Jordan. To find what you desire requires a great effort. You look thirsty. Gatorade?
Thanks. How
I
come?
know why you have come. You wish to know the meaning of life.
And?
Life is a sport. Drink it up.
That's what I figured.
Warriors head coach Bob Lanier, he took over following the departure of Don Nelson, taking over under very difficult circumstances. This is 23rd game as interim coach, 7 up and 15 down for Lanier, and we talked with him yesterday.
The last time that Golden State appeared on NBC, the previous game, you called your club gutless and you revved them up. Mm-hmm. Is there anything that you can say along those lines?
No, they might need to bring some things with them for this game. I mean, Shaquille O'Neal and Orlando's probably playing with San Antonio, probably the best 2 teams playing in the league right now. Very efficient, and they're pretty solid at all positions. So we're going to really have to give tremendous effort and bring some head to the game as well to be able to, I think, compete and have a chance to win.
Well, that's the hardest Bob Lanier has laughed in about 2 months. That came all the way from his size 21.
You recall that game after a terrible performance in a Friday night loss at home to Charlotte. Lanier made the charges of calling the team gutless. Sprewell on the foul, his second. And then the Warriors went out and played the Phoenix Suns extremely well. This several weeks back, although they lost to the Suns. They did beat the Suns in Phoenix. Getting inside. The Magic 19 and the Warriors 11. Golden State remaining the same following the timeout. Anthony Event has come on for the Magic.
And Penny is going right at the strength of the Warrior defense. Their best defensive player, Latrell Sprewell, inside. And I think Hardaway wants to get back at him because Sprewell has been taking the ball to him. Sprewell is 3 for 3 at the offensive end. Penny Hardaway in that post-up position is just playing it a little bit gingerly with that sore left hand. not affecting his offense all that much, but he's very careful not to bang it into people. As Penny a little bit upset right now and he's going to get a technical from Salvatore. Penny has looked a little bit out of sorts in the fact that Sprewell has taken the ball to him, and he's frustrated, and that his defense is suffering most with that sore finger. He feels, even though you're not allowed to hand check anymore, he feels he can't get his hand out there, he can't swipe at the ball, and it's affecting his defense. And there is an unusual thing. Chris Mullin missing a free throw. Mark Bennett Salvatore is trying to explain to Hardaway what he can and cannot say to an official when he's upset.
Golden State now 1 of 4 at the line. Chris Mullin, one of the better free throw shooters in the league. 5:35 remaining in this opening quarter. The Magic 19 and the Warriors 12. Anderson coming up a very solid game against the Bulls Friday night. Here's Royal. Avon. A layup. Anthony Avon.
Well, there are all those mismatches again, and they have to double team, and that creates rotations on defense, which will be passing lanes, driving lanes, and easy shots.
Oh, beautiful move by Chris Mullin, and the foul. Avon is call for the foul, and Mullin back to the line.
Shooting one.
Nice move by Chris Mullin, making a tough shot here, just trying to flip the ball towards the basket as he newly got the hit at Avon. Chris Mullin is not saying a lot these days, but you can tell how upset he is with the way things have turned out in Golden State, and really upset now because these players on the court don't know how to play with him. He's a very unique kind of basketball player. He plays a lot on the field. So far, they don't understand.
Open shot for Royal. Grant gets inside. Anderson for three. And Gatling rebound. 6-point lead for the Magic. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Alexander called for steps. Traveling violation. Brian Shaw getting set to check in for the Magic. 5th turnover committed by Golden State. Talking about the problems that the Warriors have had. Remember, this club began the season with a record of 7-1. There were championship hopes, but since then they have gone 14-45. Trades, injuries, tirades. They've gone from a title contender under Don Nelson to a game-by-game uncertain lineup, and now guided by the rookie coach Bob Lanier. Mullin for Alexander. Good look from Chris Mullin. And it's 21-17 Orlando.
That's what I mean. No particular set play there. Mullin just cutting across the lane, just having that feel for the game, knowing where people are on the floor and can deliver the ball.
Anderson. It counts, and the foul. Alexander picks up the hacking foul.
Well, any kind of screen roll situation, any kind of post situation that attracts a double team, and the Warriors are in deep trouble. They're just not quick enough to rotate defensively. All clear sailing here for Nick Anderson to penetrate along the baseline, as the Warriors are just not talented enough to make these kinds of defensive maneuvers. But if they tried to play one-on-one as they did early, especially with Penny Hardaway on their best player, best defensive player, Sprewell, they just can't cover.
Clifford Rozier has replaced Victor Alexander. Rozier, the 6'10 rookie out of Louisville. Warriors have hit their last 6 shots, and they are 7 of 10 from the field. Sprewell with a one-on-one move, lost it. Anderson on the open floor. Now Mullin got back. Rozier guarding O'Neal. The backdoor pass.
Good time that time by the Golden State Warriors of clogging the lane, and Shaq made a wide circular move with that arm to make that pass instead of a short, crisper one, which will be more effective.
Danielle Marshall, the rookie from Connecticut, not able to hit him, and Rozier is fouled. Clifford Rozier, very valuable player, still needs work on the post-up moves. Horace Grant called for the foul. Bob Lanier has had him do some extra running and exercise like workouts. Not happy with Rozier's conditioning.
Nor his work ethic earlier. That has improved. His rebounding is very, very promising. And, of course, that's what the Golden State Warriors are certainly going to need next year if they can get Ronnie Cycli back healthy and get Timmy Hardaway back, Bud Mullen and Sprewell there. They will need a power rebounder on that other side. Of course, they had one in Chris Webber, who has now gone on to the Washington Bullets. Gugliotta for him, Gugliotta over to Minnesota, and now Donyell Marshall.
Just atrocious free throw shooting by the Warriors. Now 2 of 8 from the line. Get the back door. This time it works. Anderson from Shaw, and it's the Magic with an 8-point lead.
With that sagging on defense, it enables the passers to make easy passes and find the open people.
Marshall for 3. Donyell Marshall knocking down the three-pointer. Donyell Marshall, a first-round draft pick of Minnesota, originally the 4th pick overall in the draft, and eventually acquired in that deal for Tom Gugliotta back in mid-February. Shaw, well, he went to the left hand. Brian Shaw switching hands while in midair.
Well, the Magic wisely not settling for these open jump shots due to the sagging defense of the Warriors. They're trying to find something better, and they're getting it.
Make it 4 out of 4 for Sprewell. He has 10 points. The Warriors down court, plus the foul on Rozier.
And this has been a major wrinkle for the Magic this year, as Shaq running the floor very well, going from defense to offense. And Shaw and Hardaway are looking to make that long pass, and Shaq is finishing it off.
Today's cars and trucks are more advanced than ever, but there is a price. Their harder working engines can wreak havoc on the motor oil, breaking it down almost immediately. That's why there's Castrol GTX. Castrol provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol, or your harder working engine could make things hard on you. Castrol GTX, engineered for greater protection against breakdown.
You're here with Bobito the Barber, Dream Hampton, and Penny Hardaway.
Hey. Is that Anthony for real?
Oh, yeah.
I know right now you're the best player in the NBA, and you got to admit it. Admit it. Go ahead, admit it.
No, I can't admit that.
I mean, how do you handle that?
It makes you feel like you're well respected, and everybody just respects your game, and that's something that's where I want to be.
Good luck to you, because, you know, we're New York, and you're going to need it.
Would you ever win a couple championships and retire early on it?
Yeah, I'm going to do that, and I'm going into hockey.
Son, had a long time, Dad. It's been a long trip, son. How about throwing me a cold one?
Just like old times, huh, Dad?
Just like the old days. This isn't a Pepsi.
I know. I saved 9 cents.
Unbelievable. Kid saved a lousy 9 cents.
Sunday after Sunday, we believe in putting on our best. Maybe that's why no car company has won more races in the history of NASCAR than Chevrolet.
A doors from time and space.
Where are we?
They thought it led to paradise. They were wrong. An all-new Earth 2 NBC tonight.
Keep your eye on Shaquille O'Neal at the defense of the floor and Clifford Rozier, who's going to get inside position, and then the sprint to the other end as Brian Shaw will get the outlet pass and keep his head up all the way as he and Shaq make eye contact at about midcourt, and Rozier way too late in getting back, as we see it once again as Brian Shaw keeping his head up all the way, and Shaq, like a tight end, saw it coming all the way, and Bob Lanier furious with Clifford Rozier, and you could hear what he's saying. Run the floor. I don't care how many mistakes you make out there. No excuse for not sprinting the floor every opportunity.
For the Magic, number 3, Dennis Scott. Here's Dennis Scott checking in for the first time. Dennis trying to work his way out of a shooting slump. Only 9 for his last 34 from downtown. Golden State shooting very well here in the first quarter, 9 of 13, but they've hurt themselves at the foul line, only 2 of 8 from the line, and they have committed 6 turnovers. As a result, they are down 29-22. Ryan Lothridge in for the Warriors for the first time. Grant with the rebound on the box out. Here comes Shaw. Mullen got a piece of it, recovered by O'Neal. Scott picked up by Mullen.
Nice defensive play by Lothridge to fool Shaw a little bit, looking like he gave him an opening and got back in time to cover Dennis Scott.
Ryan Lothridge, a rookie out of Jackson State. Here's another turnover by the Warriors. Broken out by Lothridge. Nice play. And Marshall pops it down to Mullen.
Now, Chris Mullen is a good ball handler, but not necessarily when he is one of your primary ball handlers. There's the big difference between being a point guard and a point forward.
Marshall from Mullen. Back comes Anderson. O'Neal getting position.
A nice catch by Shaq in the lane. And Nick Anderson put a lot of steam on that little shovel pass. It was low, so Shaq had to follow it all the way in his hands, and he finished off the play with a nice touch.
And a beautiful head fake by Donyell Marshall. The Magic 31 and the Warriors 24. 35 seconds to go in the first quarter. Marv Albert with Matt Guokas and Ahmad Rashad from Orlando, Florida. O'Neal on the lead from Shaw. And Shaquille has 10 points.
Oh, just so easy on the screen roll situation as Golden State forced it down to the baseline, but just nobody strong enough to get a body on Shaq to impede his progress.
Up and back, B, up and
Lothridge
back.
handling against Shaw. They double up on Marshall. Shot clock is down to 5. Lothridge can't find the shot. Gatling. Gatling did beat the 24-second shot clock, but that's the buzzer to end the first quarter with the Magic leading 33-24.
Here's Shaq on the screen roll situation. Nobody clogged the lane and nobody stopped him as Brian Shaw with the easy dump off.
Shaquille O'Neal 5 of 10 from the field in this opening quarter. 10 points to lead the way for the Magic.
For those whose idea of luxury is any place they can take a load off, Chevy introduces our all-new interior with the comfort of available leather, the security of an airbag, and the pleasure of power-adjustable lumbar seats. You could say these guys are sitting pretty. We just wouldn't advise it.
Yo, Gramps, you guys want to play? Maybe. For Big Macs? You're on. We need another guy. Yeah, and he better be fast. I have just a guy.
Meep, meep.
Then we get a guy.
Hey!
Give me that.
What's up, Bart? Can I play? No.
I thought I saw a pretty tail.
Birdie. You won't be Patty's special sauce. Oh, mine!
It's not basketball season. It's duck season.
Yeah, give me that ball.
Something real familiar about that bunny. What do you think you are?
Let me show you. Amazing. Look, it's Big Mac. Have you had your break today?
Wait, guys. Larry, you gotta remember me. Charles. Bree.
It's coming. To take cold. To take taste. To take smooth. To the extreme. Introducing Bud Ice. One ice that goes beyond the others. To take smooth. To the extreme. New Bud Ice.
This is the Game of the Week on NBC.
As we touched on earlier coming into today, Orlando was very concerned about a letdown against a club like Golden State, and we talked about that with Batman, Shaquille O'Neal.
Well, any team that plays the Orlando Magic is going to be playing way above their heads. They're going to be hitting fadeaway jumpers and jump hooks and three-pointers, and we just have to be, double ready. So we just have to come out today with a lot of poise, a lot of intensity, and, try to put it away real early.
Well, Brian Hill and his staff, Richie Atabata, Tom Sterner, watching tapes of the recent Warrior games, have seen them get behind early, but come on strong late in the game. They really came back 28-2 down at the start of the game against Miami on Friday night, and then really had a tremendous chance to tie that game up in the closing seconds.
Another Warrior turnover. It is number 8. Moody able to beat the Warriors down the floor, and Golden State not getting back. We saw it on the opening basket of the second quarter by Anthony Avent. We see it right here, and it's a 37-24 advantage.
And Clifford Rozier, the one not getting back, just getting back nonchalantly. Carlos Rogers off the bench for the Warriors, no doubt. Might get Rozier, as nothing will infuriate a coach more when you've told somebody what you're upset with, and then they come back maybe 30 seconds or a minute of playing time later and do the same exact thing. And Clifford Rozier knows he may be in for another tongue lashing from Big Bob.
Warriors are 2 of 8 at the foul line.
Golden State substitution number 52.
Gatling only a 58% free throw shooter. Here's Victor Alexander, as you mentioned, making his way back, replacing Clifford Rozier.
For the Warriors, number 15, Latrell
And
Sprewell.
Latrell Sprewell comes on for Danielle Marshall. Marshall leads with 5 points.
We noticed a little earlier that Rod Higgins, after Rozier had gotten a lecture from Bob Lanier, Rod Higgins, their assistant coach, spent a couple of minutes with Clifford Rozier to try to soothe some of the wounded pride and ego there. And right now, neither Al Attles or Rod Higgins going over to Clifford. They're going to let him stew a bit.
Minute gone by in the second quarter. Avent sending a pick for Scott, who fires. Gatling on the back tap. Mullen with the save. Walford on the run. Oh, nice move. He went to the left hand. Ryan Walford, who was not selected at all in the NBA draft. Golden State got him from the CBA, where he's averaging 20 a game. It's a three-pointer for Anthony Bowie, who has not been hitting a shot recently, but he has been spotted in and out of the lineup. 5 for his previous 15. Mullen. And rebounded by Avent. 13-point lead for the Magic. Early moments of the second quarter. That is deflected out by
Golden State substitution number 34, Carlos Rogers.
And here comes Carlos Rogers, who sat out the other night, bothered recently by bone chips in his right ankle. He replaces Chris Gatling, who departs with 3 points. And Scott nails it down.
Well, that's one of the best looks that Dennis has gotten in maybe 3 or 4 games. Most teams have been crowding him, making him put the ball on the floor. He just came off that little stagger screen on the underneath out of bounds. He knew he was going to be wide open, just got his legs underneath him and drilled it.
Nice pass for Mullen, but Alexander blew it.
That's unfamiliar territory for Vic. He feels much more comfortable at about 18, 19 feet. Sprewell will get an easy one.
Well, Latrell Sprewell off the steal cuts it to a 13-point Magic lead.
Now, that was no excuse for Alexander to miss that layup, but he is normally a perimeter center who likes to shoot that jump shot and doesn't go too close to the basket at the offensive end.
Now Scott looking to post, gives it up to an open Anthony Bowie. So Bowie has hit his last 2 shots, and the Magic up 44-29.
Well, Anthony, Carlos Rogers almost got hit in the head as he had his back turned to Sprewell.
Mullen on the fadeaway. And here come the Orlando Magic. Scott gets it back for 3. Dennis Scott has come out and hit a 2 and a 3. It leads to a Golden State timeout. The Magic 47 and the Warriors 29. A 14-5 run by Orlando.
Sir Charles and the Suns face the Admiral and the Spurs, or regional action, next Sunday.
Open the gate from the comfort of your new Galant. Introducing the Mitsubishi HomeLink system, a new level of security and convenience available exclusively on one mid-size sedan. Turn on the lights. Open the garage door. HomeLink. Imagine the possibilities. From Mitsubishi, the new thinking in automobiles.
You got the winning color. When it comes to getting the oil change, it's basically a no-brainer. You know, I always use Pennzoil. If you don't keep something lubricated, it's not going to last.
Now with the revolutionary Pennstar molecule, Pennzoil clings to moving parts. Works like liquid ball bearings.
It's showtime, baby! Play Pennzoil Sport to the Final Four. Win 1 of 4 trips for 2 to the Final Four in 95 or 96. Over 86,000 other prizes. Get details where you buy Pennzoil. It'll be awesome, baby!
Let's get out of here! Why? The noise! Okay!
Miller Lite Ice, for the taste that goes all out when you're on.
This is a lot better! Yeah! Much louder!
Miller Lite Ice, the night is young.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Mitsubishi, the new thinking in automobiles. By Miller Lite Ice, the night is young. And by Domino's Pizza. When it's gotta be great, and it's gotta be now, it's gotta be Domino's.
Welcome back to Orlando, where the Magic has jumped in front to an 18-point lead. It is their biggest of the game. The Orlando Magic coming in with a record of 51-17. That's the best record in the NBA. They're now 6 games over the New York Knicks, who won out on the coast last night, defeating the Los Angeles Clippers. And this is an Orlando team that has won 34 of 36 here at home. Another turnover, but Sprewell is able to recapture. Mullen back for Sprewell for 3. Rebound Rogers, and a loose ball foul is called against the Magic.
Can't say enough about Anthony Bowie, the way he is approaching this game. He has a feeling this might get out of hand, so he's going to make the most of his minutes. He's been getting maybe 5-6 minutes at a clip. For example, in Chicago the other night, he only played a few minutes, but when he got the open shot, he drilled it. Anthony knows no other way to play, however. Every chance he gets to step on the floor, he's going to give you his all.
That foul called on Event, his 3rd. 3.5 gone by in the second quarter. Alexander with the fadeaway. And Mullen able to rescue. Foul is called on Bowie. He got Mullen from behind. Let's check in with Ahmad Rashad. Ahmad?
All right, Marv, just moments earlier, Nick Anderson went back to the locker room. He's suffering some tendonitis in his left knee. He now has a heat pack on it, and it remains to be seen whether or not he'll be able to come back into the game. Marv?
All right, Ahmad off the steal. The Magic back to the offense. And that was last touched by Sprewell. There is Nick Anderson sitting down after going 2 for 6 in the first quarter for 4 points. Yep, Turner has come on for the first time. So Turner with Avett and Scott up front. Hardaway in the backcourt with Bowie. Avett bottled up. Recovered by Bowie. Shot clock at 2. And Bowie hits again. He is 4 for 4. He has 9 points, and it's a 20-point Orlando lead.
It's just hustle, and it's just being more alert, and you can see that the Magic, even though they know this game is probably going to be a relatively easy one for them, they're just not taking things for granted, just going after everything.
And as Scott, well, it was Scott with the strip doing it at the defensive end, and then Scott able to hit from the corner. He now has 7 points. The Magic 51 and the Warriors 29. Lothridge rebounded by Lothridge, who pops again. Alexander. Stay right here, says the official. And a brush foul is called. It's on Bowie of the Magic.
Well, the quick hands in here there of Dennis Scott, who does a lot of that, stripping the ball before the player can get to the act of shooting, and then running the floor very nicely, as Penny Hardaway found Dennis Scott after making a good defensive play, rewards him for with the open jumper.
And a foul on Turner, making contact with Mullen. Just a delightful thought for the Golden State Warriors, that down 51-29, and Shaquille O'Neal reports back onto the floor. We'll be right back.
It came into being, and it was good. It was outrageously good, and now it's even better. Because now you can lease a brand new Eclipse RS for just $199 a month with $1,500 down. Or buy it with 2.9% APR financing. The Eclipse from Mitsubishi, the new thinking in automobiles.
It's a humdinger! These announcers gotta go. Right. Baker steps in. He's batting .206 and making $3 million a year. Yeah, that's fair. He's checking sign. What's he saying, Steve? Good news. I'm having your baby. Oh. This game is brought to you by Miller Lite. Expect great things from the great taste of Miller Lite.
Nice work, Steve.
Thank you.
Hi there.
Suicide squeeze! Ow, come on!
Here's that umpire's home telephone number.
Call tonight.
Keep calling.
Call him later.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore. Love was made for me and you.
Later today, the final round of the Players' Championship. Golf's to lead at the demanding TPC at Sawgrass. Bernard Longer with a 70-footer yesterday shares the lead after 3 rounds. With Corey Pavin at 5 under par, Pavin and Longer against all comers. Golf's creme de la creme, one of the biggest tournaments of the year. The Players' Championship, 2:30 Eastern.
Ahmad Rashad here at the O-Arena here in Orlando. Now, on Tuesday night, the Orlando Magic had their annual stay-in-school jam. Now, for those of you that have seen Shaq work on the floor, the people here got a chance to see Shaq work out on the dance floor as he was working it here at the O-Arena doing, that's what they call, Mark, the Tootsie Roll. I worked with Shaq a little bit on this, and he almost has it down. We got to do a little bit more work on it, and maybe we can get it together, but the man can move. Marv?
Matt, as you know, Ahmad also kind of a hip-hop type guy. You know, he really relates to this stuff.
Shaq loved it. When he first came to the team a couple of years ago, he used to we'd be at a shoot-around, and all of a sudden, he'd start breakdancing, just go to the floor, start spinning around out of nowhere.
Well, the Orlando Magic breakdancing their way to a 51-31 lead on the Golden State Warriors with just under 7 minutes to go in this first half. Hardaway being guarded by Lofgren. Keel is back on the floor. Dennis Scott has been on fire, and a pushing foul against the Warriors. It's on Alexander. That is his second.
Well, Brian Hill continues to go to his bench, not so much concerned with what the score is or what his team is doing. He's got a pretty much of a set defensive rotation right now, trying to rest his starters and get everybody involved.
Alexander able to break that fast play up. Like Shaquille remained in the front court.
I think he was dancing back there.
Sprewell for 3. Here is Mullen shooting. And after the hot start, Golden State has certainly cooled off.
Well, Shaq looking for lob here, unable to connect with the pass as Alexander did a good job of knocking it loose. Shaq going down like he was shot and then stayed back there waiting for maybe a long pass for an easy one.
Alexander for 3. Warriors have missed their last 8 shots. Bowie. O'Neal trying to get it to Turner. Turner on the save, but it'll be Warrior ball. Danielle Marshall checking back in. Chris Gatling will follow in a moment. Daniel Marshall, the Big East Conference Player of the Year, then passed on his senior season to turn pro. 20-point lead for Orlando. Mullen blocked by Hardaway. Scott with the hit. Back comes Rogers going all the way. It will count, and the foul. What a move by Carlos Rogers.
Well, this just shows you that Chris Mullen is not all the way back. This is his 11th game back, coming off thinking it was open. Really didn't have a feel that time for where Hardaway was on the floor. But this is what this young man, Carlos Rogers, can do. Swoops to the hoop like that. A lot of athletic ability. He came over in that deal with Ricky Pierce from Seattle, where Sharunas Marshallonis and Byron Houston went to Seattle.
Rogers, a rookie from Tennessee State. Yes, he was drafted 11th overall by the Sonics. Turner knocks down the three. Jeff Turner with his first shot of the game. It's the Magic 54 and the Warriors 33. Rogers lost it. Hardaway trying to deliver to Bowie. Bowie with the save, just did remain in bounds. Scott for three. Yes. Well, Dennis Scott having a very fine time in this first half. 4 of 6 from the field, 10 points in all. He's hit 2 from three-point land. Gatling backing his way. Turner gets help from O'Neal. Gatling for Alexander. Nicely done by Chris Gatling, playing the double team.
And you can see the Magic respect his inside game. Shaq coming over to double team. Dennis Scott just too late, coming over to clog the lane to stop Alexander.
Beautiful play from Sprewell to save it from a backcourt violation. And then a gorgeous feed for Carlos Rogers.
Well, this has been the trend for the Warriors. They get behind early. Then when the pressure is off, so to speak, they start to loosen up, and they are explosive in the open floor, in particular Latrell Sprewell.
Despite their troubles, Golden State, as Turner hits again from downtown, the Warriors have come up with some impressive wins recently. A Phoenix in overtime, a home win over the Lakers, a win at Seattle. That was the day after that tough home loss to Phoenix. But right here, they are down 60 to 37.
And that's when Timmy Hardaway kind of went on a tear. He realized that his season was about to end with the wrist surgery, so he just kind of played like these were going to be his last games. Went out and played his best basketball of the year and helped the Warriors get some quality wins.
Yes, Tim Hardaway out the rest of the year. The story on Ronnie Cycli, for the moment, he has ruled out surgery on that injured ankle and is hoping to come back for the final couple of weeks of the season to test out the ankle. Nice ball movement here by the Magic. Turner. And Jeff Turner has hit 3 of 3 from downtown.
And you may be wondering why they're getting such wide open shots. Well, when the double teams occur, the defense compresses, and quick ball movement and spacing will create those kind of open shots.
Daniel Marshall able to sweep by Shaquille O'Neal. The Magic 63 and the Warriors 39. Here is Scott. Yes. Well, Orlando just on fire in the second quarter. 13 of 18 from the field. And overall from three-point range.
Shaquille O'Neal has been drawing the double team on the left side of the floor. Daniel Marshall will be the man going in. And then Dennis Scott, who has the hot hand. Let's stop right here. Here's that double team. Dennis Scott, the wide open man. That's the one they're concerned about. But good ball movement, good spacing, and a slow Chris Gatling, not quick enough to get out to the open. Jeff Turner for a good look at a three.
Orlando 29 of 46 from the field, 63% in this first half. Golden State at 16 of 36, 44%. And the Magic up 65-39. Matt, their high for the year, 152 points back in February against Milwaukee. Here's Sprewell. The all-time record most points scored by Orlando, 155 against Denver. That was back in December of '90 when you were coaching the Orlando Magic. 155 against the Nuggets. Did you win the game?
Well, I think we had to go to double. No, that was the case. that Scott Skiles had the 30 assists. That's when Paul Westhead was coaching the Nuggets, and they were obviously blowing it up and down the floor and also trying to press. And Scott Skiles was picking out easy receivers for easy shots.
Dennis Scott off the bench for 15 points, and he hits his third from downtown. 68-39. Orlando, the Magic 8 of 10 in three-point shooting. Anthony Hardaway using the clock, which we have not seen very often in this first half. Shot clock now at 10. Scott for Hardaway for 3. Air ball handled by Gatling. And Sprewell with a bad pass.
Well, the Orlando Magic all season long have been very unselfish with the basketball. It is why they lead the league in assists, and especially a guy like Donald Royal out there who will continually keep the ball moving. He is not looking to take jump shots.
Royal lost his balance, and the pass picked off by Sprewell. Sprewell saw the opening, and it was pushed by O'Neal for Shaquille. That is his first foul.
Well, Bob Lanier was telling us yesterday that he was very much concerned with the ability of the Orlando Magic to put a big number up on the board. Therefore, he wanted to control the tempo, run when it's there. Otherwise, let's use some shot clock, and hopefully a Sprewell or a Mullen or a Gatling can make a shot for you coming down at the end of a shot clock, much the way the Cavaliers have been playing. But this is not the nature of the nucleus of this team, the team that has been around when Don Nelson was there. They always played a freewheeling, up-tempo style of play, so very difficult to implement that on a 1-2 game basis or even on a week-to-week basis.
Bob Lanier, it's his 23rd game as interim coach. Won 7, lost 15. He is, I believe, the tallest coach in the history of the NBA at 6'11". Shaquille O'Neal with 12 points.
And he has the biggest feet.
Yes, no question.
Now, Wilt did coach in the ABA. Yes.
San Diego
Conquistadors.
Apparently they had to straighten out the netting at the Orlando end. The netting that's seen much action, much activity in this first half. We're just under a minute remaining, and it's the Magic 70, the Warriors 41. Marshall stopped. Orlando looking ahead to a trip to the West following today's game. They start a 3-game Western swing Tuesday in Sacramento. For the Orlando Ball. They'll play at Sacramento, at Utah, then at the Lakers. Ryan Hill, who came up with his 100th coaching victory Thursday night against Charlotte. And a 3-second violation goal.
Jeff Turner, who normally doesn't find himself underneath the basket looking for offensive rebounding opportunity, felt for sure that Dennis Scott was going to initially shoot the ball, and then Shaq would maybe shoot it. He got caught in the lane.
Warriors now playing the clock, running down at the end of the half. Mullen bothered by Hardaway. Shot clock at 5. Marshall. And the ball hitting the 24-second clock, so the Magic will get it back with 3 seconds to go in the half.
And Brian Hill wants a 20-second timeout to set up a last shot opportunity with 3 seconds left in this first half. A lot of teams like to throw that long home run play, home run pass to around the top of the key area, either for a turnaround shot or possibly hit a cutter or somebody spotting up behind the three-point line.
Minor coming up following NBA basketball. It'll be to the links of the TPC for the conclusion of the Players Championship. Orlando's Corey Pavin and Bernhard Longer tied for the lead going into today's 4th and final round, both at 5 under par. They're 1 stroke in front with 17 players within 5 shots of the lead. The Players Championship next here on NBC Sports. Magic 15 of 21 from the field, shooting at a blistering pace in the second quarter. Final seconds. Scott gets it off in time. Oh, he is unconscious here in the second quarter. Dennis Scott, 18 points in all. All have come in the second quarter.
Well, in these situations, generally the most dangerous man is the inbound passer, and the easy inbound pass to Shaquille O'Neal, who got it quickly back to Dennis Scott, and 3D finishes it off with the three.
So at the half, it's the Magic 73 and the Warriors 41. Hannah Storm and the Prudential halftime report after this.
This is the Prudential Halftime Report, brought to you by the Prudential. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
Halftime at the Orlando Arena with the Magic crushing the Golden State Warriors 73-41. Hannah Storm in our studios, along with a full cast of characters, Dr. J, Peter Vesey, Bill Walton. We're going to hear from all these guys in just a minute. But first, a look at the news of the week, starting with the Reggie Lewis story. On Wednesday, the former Celtics captain, who died in the summer of '93, had his jersey retired to the Boston Garden rafters. It was also a week which saw several new allegations raised involving cocaine use by Reggie Lewis, allegations which at this point are unproven. The biggest on-court story this past week was, of course, Michael Jordan. Michael looked sharp on Wednesday night as the Bulls easily beat the Celtics. He scored 27 points in 26 minutes. On Friday night, Jordan played his first regular season game in the United Center. He did not shoot the ball well, just 7 for 23 against Orlando, and the Magic won that game by 7. But then last night in Atlanta, Jordan's best game of the week. He showed flashes of brilliance, scoring 32 points, 14 for 26 shooting, and with the game on the line, took matters into his own hands, hitting the jumper over Steve Smith as the Bulls won at the buzzer.
I think the team's starting to settle down a little bit and getting accustomed to all this that's happening surrounding them. You know, myself, I'm getting accustomed to it as well. My rhythm is starting to come a little bit. It's coming and it's going, and you know, whenever it comes, hopefully it can be consistent. But I'm starting to fit in a little bit with my teammates. They're starting to understand me a little bit better, but we still got a long ways to go.
Just vintage Michael Jordan last night. Only a matter of time until he would hit a game-winning shot, Pete, but maybe a bit of a surprise after Friday night's performance.
I was shocked. I mean, considering the fact that he had no lift in his legs, he said that after the game. He had no feel on his shot. He couldn't even hit free throws. He played 40-something minutes. And this was the first time he was playing back-to-back. Evidently, what happened was after the Orlando game, Michael went home and he listened to what TNT's Doug Collins said about him. He accused him of being human.
He took exception to that.
Michael Jordan, though, he looks emotionally fatigued out there, as if the weight of the world is just weighing him down big time. Michael, let loose, have a little fun out there. Remember, it's a simple game, a game to be played. The biggest problem, though, in Chicago is the fact that his teammates, they're standing around watching. When you play with a superstar, you got to go out and play your best game ever and let him finish it off. The people in Orlando, they've learned that surrounding Shaq. In Chicago, they've forgotten.
The example that Michael Jordan showed in Atlanta was one of professionalism. He's had time to talk about what his predecessors did, Magic, Larry, myself, professionalism. When nobody thought he can come through with a big game, playing back-to-back for the first time, he came through with his best game and hit a game-winning shot. Professionalism.
And Michael Jordan, that's something he would like to see the younger players have more of. That's what he said last week after his return. And certainly his return has lifted the hopes of the Bulls. There are also several other players returning to their teams for the stretch run. And the Knicks will have Anthony Mason back tonight in Seattle. He returns from a team-imposed 5-game suspension after a little tete-a-tete with Pat Riley a few weeks ago. Riley decided that Mason's behavior and his attitude needed some adjusting. Well, their problems have been well documented over the last couple of seasons. Do you agree with Riley on this one, Bill?
Yes, I do. The coach has to be the king here, and this has not been an isolated instance between Mason and Riley. The coach is not the player's friend. The only time that friendship comes about is at championship parades and your Hall of Fame induction ceremony. But this is a situation here where the New York Knicks players have seemed to have forgotten where they were before Pat Riley got there. He made this team, the Knicks, and his job is unfinished at this point.
No, you know, I think it's not going to hurt him in the free agent market. When he becomes an unrestricted free agent after this season, there are already teams that need him. Houston to name one, Chicago to name another. But, you know, this guy is needed. I mean, this guy's a wild card. He reminds me of Super John Williamson and Andrew Toney when they played with Julius Erving, and Maurice Lucas when he played with Bill Walton. These guys are unpredictable. Yeah, the coach can't control them, but the other team can't prepare against them, at least not totally. They fear him.
Okay, well, if he's a bit of a wild card, coming up, we're going to talk about Mr. Steady, Grant Hill. But making crank phone calls to a very unlikely person, what's that all about? We're going to talk about that, and also next Sunday's matchup between the Suns and the Spurs. That's right after this message from Prudential and a word from the NBA. Welcome back. Next Sunday here on NBC, we have a very good matchup for most of you. Phoenix at San Antonio starting at 1:30 Eastern Time. The Spurs and the Suns are in a virtual tie in the Western Conference, just a half a game behind Utah. Right now, the Spurs are among the hottest teams in the NBA. But it's been 4 years since San Antonio has won a season series from the Phoenix Suns.
He faces the hoop against Robinson. Here's the drive. Here's the reverse layup. Oh, that was a jam.
And now the Spurs must play at least the next couple of weeks without Dennis Rodman, out with an injured shoulder.
Dennis is a big loss. It's the time where you need to get your rotations down. You need to get your cohesiveness right before the playoffs. And losing him really hurt us.
The Admiral and the Spurs host the Suns next Sunday as the Pacific Division leaders visit the Alamo Dome.
The Suns are have the best record in the Western Conference, and that's what we're shooting at. We need to go out and get them.
Adding fuel to the fire, a statement from the man whose shot knocked San Antonio out of the playoffs in 1993.
We will beat them in a 7-game series. I don't think they will get that far. It's only 3 great teams in the West. They have a good team here in San Antonio, but they can't beat Houston or Seattle or us.
Barkley says it's not us. But, you know, whenever Bark starts talking, that means he's worried.
Get out on the floor, you just got to back those words up, you know, and that's fine. You know, he's going to get plenty of opportunities to test that. You know, we don't worry about them until we get to them, and when we get to them, they're just in our way. So we're going to go ahead and take appropriate action.
Nice to see David with that attitude. Yeah, Charles's comments came over a month ago, but obviously listening to those guys, it hasn't diminished the motivational value for the Spurs.
But Barkley is just puffing hot air here. Superstars, they don't need to do that. Just get out on the court and deliver. And while Barkley has by and large done that, the guys who are really getting it done since Dennis Rodman let the Spurs down with that motorcycle accident, Avery Johnson and J.R. Reed have really come to the forefront. But the Spurs are the Suns' worst nightmare out there. They've got Rodman to mess with Barkley and then David Robinson to clean up everywhere else.
Yeah, San Antonio is 18-3 since the break. The Suns happen to be 11-9. I said after the All-Star break that the Suns probably would win 20 out of the next 32 games. They're looking more like a 16-16 team. And it's not just a matter of resting guys before the playoffs. You know, I think something might be wrong in Phoenix that needs to be corrected before the big dance starts.
Well, I hate to douse this little firestorm, but I talked to Charles Barkley about a week after he said that, and he said the only reason he said it was because Dennis Rodman had said something disrespectful about the Suns. So he was just trying to needle him.
So just a lot of hot air, something that this group can relate to. Those of you not getting the Suns and the Spurs, we've got regional coverage next Sunday. In the New York area, you will see the Knicks and the Nets, while those of you in Detroit and Washington, D.C. will get to see the Bullets and the Pistons, and that means Pistons rookie Grant Hill, who had career highs last night, 33 points and 16 rebounds against the Celtics. And Hill told what we thought was an interesting story 10 days ago on The Tonight Show.
I had the opportunity to meet Dr. J recently after a game in Philadelphia. He gave me his phone number. I can give it to you if you want.
So that'd be good.
He gave me his phone number, and I called him up as soon as I got on the bus with my cellular phone, and I called the number just to make sure it was the right number.
Oh, I see. You figured he'd give you a dummy number.
Yeah, you know, I wasn't sure. So I called up, and sure enough, it was him on the answer machine. I'm like a little kid. I'm calling him up, hanging up when the answer machine is down.
Wait. You call and then you just hang up?
Yeah, I just would hang up. I mean, you know, I was like a little kid. I call, listen to it, hang up, and call again, listen to it, hang up. So, Doc, if you're out there and, you know, got some crank calls, that's me calling. So.
And all this time you thought I was Bill Walton.
You know, I can relate to being awestruck, though. As a sophomore at the University of Massachusetts, I walked in one day and Bill Cosby was standing there, and I truly didn't know what to say to him. So I pulled out my little basketball schedule. I asked him to sign it. I put it back in my wallet. I think I left it in my wallet for about 4 or 5 years. So, Grant, I can relate to being awestruck.
When you go around the NBA, though, and ask all the young players who they model their game after, it's always Dr. J, a class act.
That's not true. The players that I talked to say they model it after George McGinnis, Doc.
Big George. The old rivalry there,
Georgie
Doc.
Springer.
Okay, guys, let's get back to the game. A quick reminder that following the Warriors and the Magic, we've got final round coverage of the Players' Championship. Course is playing real tough this week. The greens are very slick. Corey Pavin and Bernard Longer share the lead at 5 under, but a bunched field should make for an exciting final round. It is halftime at the Arena. The Magic are leading the Warriors by 32 points. We'll send it back to Marv, Matt, and Ahmad for the second half, right after these messages from your local station.
This has been the Prudential Halftime Report, brought to you by the Prudential. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
Welcome back to Orlando. The Magic with a 73-41 lead on the Warriors. Marv Albert with Matt Guokas and Ahmad Rashad. Let's see, Matt, the Warriors down by as many as 32 against Miami Friday night in Miami, but we're able to come back. So they actually have the Magic just where they want them.
And Marv, that was with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, so they have 8 more minutes to try to make up for it. But the Golden State Warriors have just been overmatched. Opportunity in the second half for both teams to work on some things and get a look at some other players.
Let's take a look at the Miller Lite halftime stats. It is all Orlando. Warriors 40%. This after a good shooting start in the first quarter. And the Magic 32 of 50 from the field. Shaquille 12 points on 6 of 11 shooting. Orlando doing it from downtown, lighting it up. 9 of 12 from beyond the three-point line. Look at Dennis Scott, 18 points, all of his points coming in the second quarter, and he is 4 of 4 from three-point land. It is a 32-point lead for the Orlando Magic. We'll be back in just a moment.
Sir Charles, KJ, and Marley have clinched a playoff spot. Now they face David Robinson and the hottest team around, the Spurs, in a possible playoff preview. Others will see 2 young superstars when Chris Webber returns home to Detroit to play Grant Hill and the Pistons next Sunday at 1:30 Eastern on NBC.
This the 198th straight sellout here in Orlando. 16,010 on hand, and they have certainly enjoyed what they have seen as we run down the leading scorers. Latrell Sprewell 5 of 8 from the field, leading the way for the Golden State Warriors with 14. Rough go for Chris Mullin in the first half. 1 of 7 from the field, as you mentioned earlier, Matt. Obviously not himself, off a number of injuries and ailments. Dennis Scott with all 18 points in the third quarter. He's hit 7 of 9. Shaquille O'Neal 6 of 11 for his 12 points. And as this third quarter gets underway, let's check in with Ahmad Rashad.
All right, Marv, just a quick update on Nick Anderson. He will not play the rest of the day today because of the tendonitis that he has in his left knee. Marv?
All right, Ahmad, it is Shaquille with the flip shot. And 14 points for O'Neal as the Magic extends to a 75-41 advantage.
We saw a little token double team that time by Chris Mullin when Shaq started to make a move. The Warriors would be better off not doubling Shaq as long as he continues to take jump hooks. If he starts powering to the basket, that's a different matter.
Marshall able to deliver to Alexander. It counts, and the foul. Bob Lanier opening up with the lineup that started the game. Alexander with Gatling, Marshall, Mullin, and Sprewell.
Nice look by Danielle Marshall, as Victor Alexander has had a number of opportunities for last. Missed a wide open one in the first half, and that kind of set him and the rest of the Golden State Warriors back for about 3 or 4 minutes. They can't let those disappointments set them back. They have to just go out and keep playing hard. This is professional basketball.
Sprewell. And O'Neal with the rebound. You'll recall, Matt, several weeks ago when we did the Phoenix Golden State game, and Bob Lanier's concern was not to be embarrassed on national television. That also his concern coming into today. To this point, it has been an embarrassment for the Warriors.
In that case, Marv, he could call on Tim Hardaway, who had, I thought, a terrific game in that situation, and it shows you what a quality point guard means to a team as far as controlling the tempo, directing traffic, getting the ball to the right people, and in Tim's case, being able to score himself.
Gatling played by Grant. Chris Gatling now 1 of 5, so not helping that 60% plus shooting percentage here this afternoon. Hardaway for O'Neal. And Gatling off the boards.
And so far, Shaq looks like he is content to just take some jump shots, work on his jump hook, and not looking to overpower Alexander inside, so there is no need to distort your defense with double teams.
Marshall challenged by O'Neal and rejected. Ryan Shaw, start of the second half, took the hit. He'll go to the line. Nick Anderson sideline. Shaw starting the half. Here's David Wood coming on for the first time, replacing Chris Gatling, who committed that foul.
I noticed the last two fast break opportunities for the Orlando Magic. Donald Royal never made it into the front court on either occasion. As we watch Bob Lanier talk a little bit to Chris Gatling, I don't think he was very happy with the shot attempt that he put up, but he was putting it up against one of the best defenders at the big forward position in Horace Grant, who forced him into that tough shot. But Bob is getting all the talk in right now. Chris Gatling having to agree with him.
And for Orlando, their first successful free throws. They were 0 for 4 at the line of the first half. Sprewell is fouled.
Let me finish that point on Donald Royal on the fast break opportunities. Never made it into the front court, and he is about the best runner as far as filling a wing on fast break situations. And notice him bending over, grabbing his left ankle, the one he severely sprained about a month ago. Of course, this is the concern that Brian Hill and the Magic have, and that they want to win these games. They want to get the best record in the league, but they also want to spread the minutes out. And of course, there's no way you can control the injury situation, which can come up at any time.
Orlando outscored Golden State 40-17 in the second quarter, and they now lead 79-45 with 2.5 minutes gone by in the third. Pressure on Shaw. Shaw and Hardaway in the backcourt. That's a double dribble call. And a rare turnover for Orlando. David Wood, played by Horace Grant. They double up on Latrell Sprewell. Alexander for Wood, and he is clobbered. David Wood will go to the line. Royal ball for the foul, and they see Horace Grant holding the hand.
Horace Grant going up to block this shot as Donald Royal got a piece, and I think that Horace caught that on the bottom of the backboard as he came that in, and that'll get Dennis Scott into the game. I'm not sure for Donald Royal or Horace, as both of them are in some discomfort right now. But when you lose your edge and lose your concentration, so to speak, that's when injuries and little things can happen. And the Magic have not had the opportunity to do that over the last 6 games. The last week, Chicago, obviously a big night with Michael's return to the United Center, the game against Charlotte on Thursday, Phoenix coming in, and then the 3 losses previous to that. The Magic have had to keep their wits about them. Today, obviously, is not that case.
Horace Grant in obvious pain, trying to shake it off. 3 minutes in, third quarter. O'Neal from Hardaway. 18 for Shaquille. And the Magic up 81-47.
On that particular screen and roll situation, it looks like Shaq can score every time.
Dennis Scott back on the floor. Anthony Hardaway. Hardaway for Shaw. 83-47. Orlando.
Horace Grant still in some discomfort with that hand, and Ryan Hill would probably like to get another 3 or 4 minutes out of Horace before he goes to Ament and Jeff Turner.
And here's Shaw on the pull-up. You know, you think back to last year as you watch this humiliation that the Warriors are suffering here. O'Neal with the rejection. Golden State last season. Sprewell on the steal. The Warriors, the NBA most improved team. They went from 34 wins the previous year to 50. Alexander on the follow. 50 and 32 record for third in the Pacific Division behind Seattle and Phoenix in the playoffs. Knocked out in the first round, swept by Phoenix 3-0. And you look at what has happened here. Sprewell is able to put him down. This is a club that began the season at 7-1. High hopes. But you look at the lineup now, and obviously following the departure of Chris Webber and then Tom Gugliotta, who was obtained in the deal, now a member of Minnesota. The great number of injuries. Tim Hardaway and Ronnie Cycli. Chris Mullin out, good fortune of the season. The departure of Don Nelson. And this club now 21 and 46. Needing a substantial makeover and all kinds of questions concerning what will happen with the Warriors next season.
Here's Latrell Sprewell, who was very good in that department, stealing the basketball and very quick as he got away with a hop, step, and a jump and a walk. But he's out there kind of getting into starting to do what he did the other night. He had a miserable first half on Friday night against the Miami Heat. 1 for 7 from the field. 21 points in the fourth quarter, 9 in the third quarter. He really put on a show as he almost brought the Golden State Warriors all the way back.
Warriors 11 of 22 on the line. Nice move by Sprewell. He has 20 points. It's the Magic 83 and the Warriors 53. Number one question for the Golden State Warriors. Hardaway gets inside. The Warriors getting no stops right throughout the game. It's now 85-53. The number one question is, with the new management, who will be the new general manager of Golden State? And you have to start from there.
And it's a tall task for whoever may be. There have been a lot of different rumors. Gregory has been their scout there for a number of years. And of course, he knows this organization inside out, has a good feel for what the personnel can do and what is needed. But this organization right now needs a major overhaul and a direction that is certainly missing right now.
Here's Grant. Yes. Been a low-key game for Horace, who has been on a terrific run as of late. His offense not needed here this afternoon. He's hit 3 of 3, 6 points, along with 9 rebounds.
When you practice your set plays, you call it a shell. You just go against a 5 or none, and sometimes it looks like that right now because there's just no defensive resistance, no pressure on the ball, and consequently it's easy to make cuts and easy to make passes.
87-57, Orlando. Dennis Scott for 3. And Grant able to get to it. Scott's pass broken up. Sprewell off the steal, has a 3-on-1, leads Mullin. The Magic 87 and the Warriors 59.
Well, it is good to see Latrell Sprewell out there. He's not concerned about the scoreboard right now or anything. He's just going to go out and try to play as hard as he can. This guy was a first team All-Pro last year, second team All-Defensive, led this ball club in minutes played. And he's acting very professionally today. It's good to see.
Did hit a down period, although he did make first team All-Star. That just did beat the 24-second buzzer. So Brian Shaw has 8 points. Sprewell, though, has fallen back from his play a year ago. Hardaway saving it for Scott. But Hardaway hurt his finger.
Everybody seems to be banging their hands and fingers right now. Ankle sore, knee sore. I think everybody would like to go out in that sunshine, Marv, and maybe get another 18 holes in, or at least 18.
Anthony Hardaway came into today with a dislocated left index finger and having problems now with the right hand.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Bud Ice and 96-calorie Bud Ice Light, chilled below freezing for a taste that's smooth to the extreme. By American Honda, who has been making quality automobiles in America for the past 12 years. And by Schick Tracer. It traces every curve on your face.
Magic substitution number 14.
Here, Penny Hardaway, in trying to put that ball in his left hand, you could see the left hand, the one that has been sore with the dislocation, he jammed it. Anytime you have jammed finger or sore hand, it seems you're always going to hit it on something. As you see him rubbing it right there, probably will be getting ice on it very, very quickly.
So it is an aggravation of the left hand, not the right, as Hardaway sits down. Penny Hardaway Thursday night against Charlotte had a career-high 16 assists, committing no turnovers in 40 minutes of play, and he was playing with that dislocated left index finger. The Magic 89 and the Warriors 59. Just under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. O'Neal tried a look-away pass that did not work.
But he is looking for cutters and looking for passes as the Warriors are waiting for him to put the ball on the floor. On the last Warrior possession, there's Penny Hardaway looking on as he jammed that, or re-injured that left hand. Victor Alexander is either getting too far out or too close. His range is about 17, 18 feet. Nice move, though, by Carlos Rogers, who finished it off with authority.
Talking about the pass attempts of Shaquille O'Neal, he did pick up 4 assists in the first half. Anthony Bowie. And Sprewell at the guards. Here is Sprewell shooting for 3, and a foul is called. Foul on Scott, and that will be 3 free throws. No, they say 2-point range, or now it's being corrected. Is it 3? Yes. It was a 3-point attempt. So Latrell Sprewell to the line. The 3 shots with the way things are going at the foul line for the Warriors these days, that is not necessarily a positive.
Very poor in the first half for the Warriors, 7 for 15, and the Orlando Magic just 0 for 4 as they had been shooting just mostly perimeter jumpers due to the sagging defense of Golden State. Sprewell last year was a 36% three-point shooter. This year, 26%. Oddly enough, Penny Hardaway for the Magic was a 26% shooter last year, and now he's improved up right around 35%. So 2 players going in different directions with the closer three-point line.
And there's no question that Latrell Sprewell's play, although he has come alive the last couple of games, greatly affected by the departure of 2 of his best friends, Chris Webber and Billy Owens.
And he continues to wear their numbers on the back of his sneakers, which has been disconcerting to the organization and to other players. That's one of those things about pro ball. You just have to let it go. That's the nature of this business.
Well, a moment ago, Latrell Sprewell came up with another steal. That is his 8th of the game. That is a career high. His previous high was 5 on several occasions. The Golden State Warrior franchise record, most steals in a game, 9, shared by Rick Barry, who did it against Buffalo in '74. Michael Ray Richardson did it against San Antonio in '83. The NBA record, 11 steals by Larry Keenan of San Antonio. We talked with Bob Lanier about the problems that Latrell Sprewell has been suffering this season.
He's frustrated. I mean, really frustrated. He's spiritually and emotionally drained from this whole ordeal. He lost 2 guys he was very, very close to. His expectations were extremely high. The reality is, with all the injuries and stuff, we're a dismal team the way it looks right now. So I think Spree is just in this soup, man, and he's wallowing. And that's one of the things that I try to do. Come on, man, try to boost him, man, and try to get other people to try to boost him up. But he's a very sensitive young man, and I think he's bothered right now, and trying to reach him is a challenge.
When I talked to Bob Lanier yesterday about the up-and-down game that Spree had on Friday night against Miami, a very poor first half and then a spectacular second half, and Bob asked him about it as well, and Spree said, well, my man was out on the floor, Billy Owens, and it made me play better. The unfortunate part was Billy was on the other side. There you see the number 4, formerly worn by Chris Webber, and number 30, Billy Owens, wore that number for the Golden State Warriors.
We come up on 2 minutes remaining. In this third quarter, David Wood with his first field goal. He now has 4 points, and the Magic leading 90-66. Golden State has actually outscored Orlando 23-11 after trailing by as many as 36. So they have cut into the lead, but it's certainly difficult as Mullen goes off the mark once again. Wood with the save. Difficult for Orlando to stay at a high level. They had outscored Golden State 40-17 in the second quarter. Normal to let up a bit. And almost an up and down by Shaquille.
This is one of those opportunities where you'd like to work on your trap and your press, but you're going to do it after free throws. Well, there's not going to be that many free throws, and you also don't want to be putting yourself in that position where you're pouring it on. But maybe when Brian goes to his second unit work on the press, but that doesn't do you any good either, because those fellas won't be doing it in the real live situation come playoff time.
Shaquille O'Neal, 21 points and 10 rebounds. Alexander trying to go back door, but Sprewell put on the brakes.
Now, the old adage in basketball, if you're going to go, go. Once you commit to that backdoor cut, you have to keep going no matter what, because otherwise you're going to make the passer look bad. That really was not Victor Alexander's fault.
Here is Shaquille O'Neal. He has hit 11 of 18 from the field. My man now for Orlando with 23. Dennis Scott is 18, all 18 in the second quarter. And Latrell Sprewell, high-point man for Golden State with 23 points. Apparently a problem with the clock that has been adjusted.
Yes, it's not moving fast enough.
Yes. Matt, speak for yourself. Here's David Wood for 3. And the ball goes back to Golden State. I don't know about you, but I'm, Sunday afternoon just relaxing, bonding with you and the rest of the staff. Ahmad, I know, having a delightful time over the other side.
I haven't heard from Ahmad. Is he still here?
We're not certain. Sprewell way off the mark. It's tough to tell with Ahmad. He's a very low-key type of guy. Down to 20 seconds left in the third quarter. And Brian Shaw running the clock down. Blocking foul called on Mullen.
Foul number 17, Chris Mullen.
10 seconds to go.
His first
In the third, that is a non-shooting affair. Bowie will put it in play. Down to 5 seconds. Shaw. Rogers had it knocked away here. Scott. And that's the way it's gone for Dennis Scott and the Magic. We'll be back after a word from your local station.
Just because you grew up, got a job.
To the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA.
Well, there's Steve Albert, the television voice of the Golden State Warriors, with an off day today. Obviously has nothing to do, Matt. Steve always willing to lend a hand, helping out at the technical end. And it should be pointed out, he is a very quick study. Immediately picked up the fact that when the red light goes on, it means that the camera is indeed operating.
That is one of the most blatant cases of nepotism, the fact that you would get him a job on his off day.
You think he's getting paid for that?
Oh, he's not.
All right, Brooks Thompson hears it from the crowd as he checks in for the first time for Orlando. Brooks, the rookie from Oklahoma State, who several weeks ago was getting quality time action, what with the number of injuries Hitting Orlando. Gatling tried to dump it off. Thompson broke it up, but stepped out of bounds. So the fourth quarter getting underway with the Magic leading 97-66.
Well, typical of most crowds, they always want to see the 12th man get in the ball game, and when he gets in, they want to see him shoot it. It won't take long for Brooks to fire away.
And again, Brooks hearing the applause, got a piece of it on the deflection. Brooks Thompson, a first-round draft pick from Oklahoma State. A three-point shooting specialist. That's a 24-second violation. Orlando now with Shaquille O'Neal remaining in at the center with Jeff Turner, along with Dennis Scott, Anthony Bowie, Brooks Thompson. So Thompson is handling the ball. He's playing the point. Scott, that's a leg block. Try to get it to O'Neal.
Brooks is an offensive-minded player, loves to shoot the basketballs, but he has been thrown into that point guard situation. And the advantage for him this year is getting to play against Penny Hardaway in practice. It'll certainly improve his game.
Here's Scott on a crossover move. Rebound Scott. And a Scott with 23 points. The Magic leading 99-66. Carlos Rogers, Chris Gatling, David Wood up front, Chris Mullen. Rogers on the follow. Mullen and Latrell Sprewell in the backcourt. Chris Mullen now 3 of 11 from the field.
Chris does not look comfortable. They're not getting him good shot opportunities. This whole style of play is just foreign to Chris Mullen.
That's a 3 for Brooks Thompson. Well, the sight of Brooks Thompson keeping the crowd in this one here in the fourth quarter, although this one is out of hand. And Thompson is called for the foul. And this is Tim Legler checking in for the first time, replacing Chris Mullen. Tim Legler on his second 10-day contract with Golden State. He had been with Omaha in the CBA, averaging 25 a game. Sprewell ran into O'Neal. He thought he was fouled. 3-on-2. Thompson returning, and O'Neal will go to the line. He took the hit. David Wood picks up the personal.
Latrell Sprewell trying to make things happen, getting into the lane, getting caught up in the air. He has 8 steals in this ball game, but that was his 8th turnover. He had 9 turnovers in that loss at Miami on Friday night.
Shaquille O'Neal 1 of 3 at the line. He has 23 points, 12 rebounds. How about 5 assists and 3 blocked shots? But it has been a very light workout for Shaquille.
So light that he's not even sweating right now. That's unusual.
Rogers was hit. Carlos Rogers will go to the line, fouled by O'Neal. Shaquille will sit down. Here's Anthony Aven replacing Shaquille O'Neal.
Third, second team foul.
Rogers to the free throw line. Golden State as a team is shooting 70% from the line. That is the third worst in the NBA. Only the Magic and the Clippers are below them. And they're 14 of 27 at the line.
This is going to be a crucial summer for Carlos Rogers, Clifford Rozier, in how much work they can get done play in the summer league to bring those players along, because they look like they are going to be the future big forwards for the Golden State Warriors.
And a Scott. And handled by Tim Legler. Legler runs the break, finding Gatling. It counts on the foul. Timeout is called with 9:51 remaining. Fourth quarter.
Miller Genuine Draft presents Genuine Moments.
Today's Miller Genuine Draft Genuine Moment goes back to January of 1993. The Bulls versus the Magic, a game that saw Michael Jordan score 64 points. He had 27 of 49 from the field. Orlando won the game in overtime. The 64 points, the most points ever allowed by Orlando, and the second highest scoring game in the career of, yes, Michael Jordan. His high 69. against the Cleveland Cavaliers. In recognition of this moment, Miller Genuine Draft will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund.
I happened to catch the end of that game against Atlanta last night, where Michael was given the ball in the backcourt, 5.9 seconds, took it down, backed up Steve Smith, and pulled up for the winning jump shot. And Lenny Wilkins must just have nightmares when he sees Michael Jordan with the ball in the closing seconds of the game. You'll remember the two big ones he hit against the Cavaliers in the playoffs in years gone by.
Michael saying after the game he was beginning to wonder about himself. He thought a stop, hammers down another. Thought he may have been hurting the club the previous two games. I don't think Phil Jackson would go along with that thought as Michael works his way back. Gatling. And Rogers able to keep him alive. 11 points for Carlos Rogers. 105-74 Orlando.
Well, Rogers has shown that he can fly in from the perimeter and catch some balls and finish off. That time he showed a quick hop from a 2-foot takeoff. He's a talented man around the basket.
Anthony Abed making a 3 of 3 from the field. Here's Sprewell. Latrell Sprewell leading the Warriors with 25 points, 107-76. And Bennett Salvatore with the kneeing indication. Foul called on Carlos Rogers.
His first, second team.
A look at the Eastern Conference. Orlando with the best record in the NBA. 6 games in front of the New York Knicks. Indiana, a game over Charlotte. Chicago trying to catch Cleveland.
Right now it would be Chicago versus New York in the first round if the season were over today. But Chicago trying to catch Cleveland for that 5th spot, which means they would play Charlotte in the first round.
Keith Jennings, who just checked in, getting that pass down low, leading to the foul. Jeff Turner picks up the foul. If the playoffs began today, these would be the matchups. Orlando opening against New Jersey, Charlotte against Cleveland, as you mentioned, New York Knicks and Chicago, and then Indiana going up against the 7th seed. 2 against 7. Indiana playing Atlanta. Orlando has not had an easy time with the Knicks. Should that hold up, they have gone 2-2 this season. But still a ways to go, and a battle for those final spots in the Eastern Conference.
Brian Hill looking on at Danielle Marshall. I mentioned earlier that Carlos Rogers and Rozier are important for summer for them. Also for Danielle Marshall, who's really going to have to work on his conditioning, little upper body strength. It'll be an important summer for him as well.
Scott played by Marshall. Sets up Thompson. Brooks Thompson. Rebounded by Anthony Bowie. Abed now posting up against Rozier. And it's a goal tab. The basket will count.
Nice instinct that time by Carlos Rogers, coming over to help out his teammate, but clearly catches this ball on the way down. As you like the effort, however, from Carlos Rogers. It's just that he lacks experience right now in knowing when he should do that and when he shouldn't. But in this type of game, just got to go out and hustle and try to make as many good basketball plays.
Shot clock is down to 5. Rogers. Oh, he goes glass. I don't think that was his intent, but Carlos Rogers is 6 of 6 from the field. He has 13 points. The Magic 109 and the Warriors 78. We are in the midst of extensive garbage time. This score does not indicate what has occurred here this afternoon. Taking it out of the hands.
And Bob Lanier just looks numb right now. I'm sure he was counting the days till this regular season is over.
5 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter. Nice move by Rogers once again. It counts, and the foul.
Well, Anthony Bowie spotting that pass coming from about 10 feet away, just stepped into the passing lane in front of little Keith Jennings, as Bob Lanier doesn't even want to look at the play, as Anthony Bowie has made the most of his minutes so far this afternoon.
It's tough, though, to get a feel as to the accomplishments today because very little defense has been played right from the start.
But see, players can't worry about that. They can't worry about what the situation is. You got to stay with your good habits. Just go out and do what you're supposed to do within the team concept. Not worry so much again about the final results. Just make plays.
Dennis Scott now has 27 points. Foul on Bowie, helping Mr. Jennings, the 5'7" Keith Jennings, back to his feet. We'll be right back.
All right, Joe, let's have some good clean basketball.
Shaq brings up the ball, passes to Shaq in the corner, feeds it to Shaq in the post, who's got Shaq all over it. Wow, what a matchup this is going to be.
Shaq, get in for Shaq.
Who you guard? Big, good-looking guy.
It's rejected. Back the other way. Blocked. Back the other way. Blocked again. There's a souvenir for a lucky fan. And at the half, we are tied at 0.
Man, these guys can play. Yeah, no.
He scores. Back the other way. Scores. Down court again. He scores. Wow. This is incredible.
You're kidding, right?
Jack for 3. Unbelievable. And after 7 overtimes, we're still tied. Looks like we're going to shoot free throws to settle this one.
Is brought to you by the new Ford Explorer, far and away the best Ford Explorer ever. By Reebok. Come see how the game is played on Planet Reebok. And by the Pepsi-Cola Company, who reminds you that nothing else is a Pepsi.
Back in Orlando, Marv Albert, Matt Kukas, and Ahmad Rashad as Keith Jennings is at the free throw line. 6:47 remaining. In this fourth quarter, the Magic up 113-82.
He's the sixth best free throw shooter in the...
Want to say that again, Matt?
No.
Take that over.
He's a very good foul shooter. Shooting 89%.
That'll be erased. Edited version later on as Jeff Turner knocks down another. He is 4 of 5 from the field. He has 11 points.
Keith also has a very good assist turnover ratio, but it's hard to get him into the ball game because of the obvious size disadvantage that he has.
Wayne Morton, who just checked in, rookie from Louisville, fouled by Dennis Scott.
Second penalty situation. Wayne Morton, shoot 2.
So 2 shots for Dwayne Morton. Second round pick earlier this season, sidelined by a fractured thumb. And there's Tim Legler. We mentioned the 10-day contract that he was on. He's had stints with several other NBA teams. Tim Legler recently inducted into LaSalle's Hall of Fame. And Matt, he married LaSalle's top three-point shooter. I see you getting the wrong idea. His wife, Jennifer, was a standout for the Lady Explorers of LaSalle.
It was possible if Speedy Marks, the LaSalle coach, both his wife and Tim Legler. That would be an unbelievable trivia question.
Yes, it would. Keith Jennings with his first field goal. The Magic with a 117-86 lead. Just under 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Scott checking the shot clock. And able to fire home the turnaround on Morton. Dennis Scott is 12 for 18. He has 29 points. Morton coming up short. And that intended for Scott.
Dennis on the fly pattern of Anthony Bowie, a little upset with himself, not gauging the speed or lack thereof for Dennis Scott. Nice to see Dennis break out of what has been a major shooting slump for him. Other than a terrific shooting game against Phoenix last Tuesday, Dennis has been around 30% from beyond the arc and from inside it as well.
Legler. Rebound by Rogers. Carlos Rogers with his first miss of the game. He hit his first 7 shots. And a 3-second violation is called. It will be a very long trip for Golden State to the New Jersey area. They wind up the 5-game road trip Tuesday against the Nets. I think the Warriors and the Nets could share some swell stories regarding the way the season has gone in terms of personalities on each ball club. Although the Nets did come up with a victory last night and very much in the hunt for the final playoff position in the Eastern Conference. Morton not able to hit.
And that's the big difference. The Nets certainly have something to play for because they have a certain amount of confidence against the Orlando Magic. They realize it's the best team in the league with the best record, but they have this kind of bravado feeling that they have played the Magic well, they have beaten them twice, that they could give them all kinds of problems in the playoffs.
So Morton to the line. Chris Mullin with a rough day, 3 for 11, not able to get going, only 9 points. It's been a very difficult run of injuries for Chris the past 3 years. This only his 9th game back. He had missed a good portion of the season with knee injury, sprained ankle. We talked earlier about the dizzy spells. But feels he's working back into it, and it's important to him to show to himself in these final weeks that he is all right. Brooks Thompson with 7 points, and it's Orlando 121 and Golden State 87. Getting misfires on the lead for Morton, but a loose ball foul was called on Turner. That is his 5th personal.
Well, Chris Saboa was telling me that he is just so happy to be out playing again, all the time he's missed over the last 3 seasons. But we noticed when he was sitting against the scoreboard area there, he was talking to himself, and that is not a good sign.
Wayne Morton to the line. 5-point man for Golden State. Latrell Sprewell with 25, also a career high of 8 steals, and Dennis Scott doing it off the bench. 29 points to lead Orlando. And Latrell taking the rest of the day off. Actually, many of the Warriors took a good portion of the day off here today. Shaquille O'Neal with 24 points. We're just under 4 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Look away pass for Avak. And Bennett Salvatore calling the foul on Legler.
20, Tim Legler. His first 3rd team foul.
The Orlando Magic on their way to a 4th straight win after losing 3 in a row. And they will make it 35-2 here at home. That's the best home record in the league. Scott. The 2 losses suffered by the Magic here in Orlando. Early February lost to Seattle, and then mid-March, March the 14th, they were soundly beaten by Utah. They had won 21 straight before the loss to Seattle. Tim Legler on the score sheet. That's his first field goal. 121-90 the score with 3 minutes remaining in the game.
And the Magic will get a chance to avenge that loss on Friday night at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City.
Jeff Turner has been on fire. He's 5 of 6 from the field. He's hit 4 of 5 from downtown. He's 14 points. Rogers. 124-92. Golden State will drop to 21-47, and this will be their 4th straight loss. Brooks Thompson again showing the touch.
And Brooks doesn't get a chance to do that too often. Post up a smaller guard, and playing against Shaw and Hardaway in practice, I'm sure he rarely gets down there. He's on the other end of it quite a bit, so nice opportunity for him.
And the tip by Rogers.
Carlos Rogers showing his ability and his quickness in getting off his feet around the basket. He's got to show a lot of promise. He's going to be a guy that can be an offensive rebounding type player.
20 points for Rogers. The Magic leading 126-94. Here's Bowie. Rozier with the rebound. Orlando shooting just under 60% for the game. And a timeout is called by the Warriors with 1 minute and 40 left in the game. 1 minute 40 to go. In this 4th quarter, it has been all Orlando. They led 33-24 after one. They outscored the Warriors 40-17 to blow it open in the second quarter. 32-point advantage at halftime, and they have just rolled on. Golden State turning it slightly in the third, but too late. A minute and a half left as Rogers goes inside again. He has 22 points, and the Magic now leads 126-96. Brooks Thompson picked up by Wayne Morton. And Scott has been the high man with 29. Jeff Turner's had the hot hand. Shot clock at 5. Anthony Amen gets it off in time. And knocked out of bounds by Legler of Golden State. Well, Orlando will fall way short of their season high 152 points the way this was going in the first half. It appeared they had a shot. Thompson. Brooks Thompson has come out to hit 5 out of 8 from the field. That is his second from downtown. He has 12 points, and he's done it in a hurry.
And that was the old three-point line where he shot that one from. He has that kind of range.
Bowie with a 2-on-1. Broken up by Jennings. Legler. Morton is fouled with 30 seconds remaining in the game. Avent called for the foul. Orlando with 152 points earlier this season. That's the most they have scored. This year they have 129 this afternoon. And they have done it from three-point range. They have connected for 13 of 23.
And this is an important road trip for the Magic coming up this week when they go to Sacramento, Utah, and the Los Angeles Lakers. They feel like they broke out of it a little bit by beating the Chicago Bulls on Friday night under unusual circumstances, but they have to prove to themselves that they can go out and win the road. Despite the fact that they'll have the home court in just about every series so far, they want to go out and ensure they can win, prove to themselves they can win games on the road.
Turner on the move. Down to 10 seconds remaining. And broken up by Thompson. Quick check of the clock by Brooks Thompson. And Scott waits for the last possible second. And then put it down. So Dennis Scott finishes with 32 points, 6 of 7 from downtown. The Magic in a run, 142-98. Back in a moment. The Orlando Magic making a record of 52-17, best record in the NBA in a romp over the Golden State Warriors, led by Dennis Scott, 13 of 20 from the field, high man with 32 points, and he is alongside Ahmad Rashad. Ahmad?
All right, thanks, Mark. Dennis, you came into the game in a bit of a shooting slump, but you came out of it today, 32 points.
Oh, I had to, Ahmad. After the Chicago game the other night, I went 0 for 6, and I've never gone 0 for anything ever. I've been playing basketball all of my life, and I just had to get back to the basics, get into my shot, and concentrate on it, follow through, and not worry about people running at me.
A lot of people thought you'd have a letdown today playing against the Golden State Warriors, but you guys came out very businesslike.
Oh, we had to, because we know they're a very explosive team. Chris Mullin back, Sprewell. They got a lot of guys that can score points. We know we had to stay on them. They came back from 28 points down in Miami the other night, so we knew they could score, so we had to stay tough on them.
All right, Dennis, thanks for joining me. Good luck to you the rest of the way.
Thanks, Ahmad.
All right, back to you, Marv.
All right, Ahmad. Dennis Scott on fire right throughout, 32 in all, 18 coming in the second quarter. Again, the final score, Orlando 132 and Golden State 98. Right now we'll be sending you to final round coverage of the Players' Championship. From Matt Kukas and Ahmad Rashad, I'm Marv Albert. So long from Orlando. This has been the NBA on NBC.